Just look at those wheels. You know, I wasn't always rich. Back in the day, I was broke, flipping pizzas at Subway, and just look at me now. You can really tell that I've made it in life when you can see wrapped knockoff rims like this. Did you want to get new wheels for your ride and got confused with all numbers and terminology? You did it, yet you're here watching my video. Thank you for support. Well, some people are confused, and I'm here to explain about wheel size and rim width, offset, tread width, and tire profile, camber, and clearance. Because all of these things will affect how your ride looks. But before I explain all that, let me update you on my life story. And if you don't care, well, then I'm hurt, but you can skip the timestamp below. I got the idea for the video while driving past my ex-girlfriend's house. I spaced out and ran over a pedestrian. While arguing about lack of attention of pedestrians these days, a guy in Chrysler 300 pulled up and said, "Seat pit lockers, dude, where'd you get them?" He agreed to collaborate my story if I helped fit his ride with some proper rims. FYI, these are not bead lockers. These are not even a multi-piece rims. These are cheap knockoffs. These rivets, nuts, bolts, they're just for show. I tried to explain to the dude over text messages about the rims and tires he should be looking at, but he seemed to get overwhelmed. While this might be quite easier to understand for some people or second nature to them, I understand for some people this might be confusing, and I thought maybe it's a video-worthy type of explanation. You've probably seen a look of a ride transform to a different set of rims. But what if I told you it's not about the wheels, it's about the fitment? Because a car with properly fitted stock rims will look way better than a car with poorly fitted authentic rims. Fitment is about how well your wheels fit the wheel well. And there are a few different styles. There is poked, tucked, flush, hella flush, and full degenerate. And it's not just about rim size and dimensions, it's also about suspension and tire size also. You want to close up your vertical and horizontal wheel gap. Horizontal distance is how far your wheel sticks in and out of the fender. From factory, the wheel would be recessed into the fender, preventing your car look dope as shit. Just kidding. The job of a fender is to keep the shit slinging contained and not do the shit slinging all over the side of your car and the cars that driving beside you as you drive over shit. For the horizontal fitment, there is two things to consider. There is rim width, offset, tread width, and camber. For now, let's not think about camber. And for the vertical fender clearance, it comes to your suspension and tire profile. I suggest not go outside the factory tire sizes and lower your suspension instead. You could keep your suspension ride height factory, but it's really not easy to make your ride look good with a factory ride height, as you can see from my car right here. In my case, with this factory size tires, I have 1.5 inch vertical clearance. So this could be smaller. This could be lowered by about an inch. It doesn't need to be that big. And let's check the rear. And the rear is huge. It's like 2 inches right there. So if you can and willing, and it's something that you do, I would recommend you lower your car first and then measure the horizontal distance afterwards. After you lower your car will look better already, even with factory rims. Next thing you can do is start measuring horizontal distance, is how far your tire is fitted within the wheel well. So in my case, it is flush already, but in a lot of factory cars, it will be sunken in by about 1 inch or 2. And if it's sunken by about 1 inch or more, I would recommend you get 25mm spacers and put those onto your factory rims and see how they look. So I would suggest you do lowering springs and spacers first, or even coilovers, as this will help you get the feel for what kind of fitment you're into. And it's something that is relatively easier to reverse as opposed to buying rims and tires. Once you buy the tires, not a lot of people would want the exactly size you have, and you'd have to sell it at much heavier discount than you would selling springs or spacers. Now that you have your car fitted with lowering springs and spacers, and you got the feel for how much your rims are sticking out, and if you want them a little bit more sunk in or sticking out even further, you can possibly start shopping around for the rims and tires. Let me show you the website where you can check out some numbers. And as you can see from the video and from the numbers that I have measured, my car has a bit of a rake. As you can see, the rear wheel's gap is quite a bit bigger than the front wheel, and it's measuring about 2 inches wheel gap in the rear, and I think it was like 1.5 inches in the front, and that's something that I want to fix. I don't think I'll mind the rake, I think I just mind that gap. With these wheels, it just does not look good. It actually looked kind of better with the factory wheels because they were more sunk in and the gap was less obvious. Now that my rims are somewhat flush, the gap sticks out quite a bit. To fix the rake, I bought a set of springs. It's actually not easy to find springs that are only changing the ride height by about 1/2 inch, and this is what I found on eBay. It's used, and from what they say, it should lower the rear by about 1/2 inch. Actually, this is a full set. There's front and rear, but I don't want to lower the front, I just want to lower the rear. And I don't really want to lower the car any more than that, as I do take my car camping from time to time, and I do want to keep my ground clearance. I was just filming my video over there, and then I realized that's that guy with the Chrysler 300. Ah, well, I'm pretty sure that it is. I mean, it was black, and it did have a purple tune, and he says he works at this mall. Well, that's pretty cool. It's hilarious. Maybe I'll run into him and explain about the rims. For now, I'm just gonna go to Walmart before I head home. Here are 2 sites good for starting your searching for dope-ass rims: wheelsizes.com and fitmentindustries.com. So first you need to put in your car information here. So let's go Ford 2012 Mustang. So things we need to look from here is your bolt pattern. For the Mustang is 5x114.3. That's important. Bore size is not as important to know. Then what you want to know is what is the widest rims that came from factory on this car. And looks like we have 19x9 over here, and yeah, 19x9 looks like what came widest on this car, so this looks like the safest range. And the offset was +42, so you could subtract maybe 10 from this and should be okay. You could also go a little bit wider than what it was from factory, because from factory they don't want your car looking dope, so they will have the sunken fitment. The cars that look dope don't have sunken fitment. Then we go to Fitment Industries here. Let's go shop for wheels right there. Yeah, let's go for a 9-inch rim, 9-inch wide rims, just filter by the width size, and let's go for 20s. There looks like there's a lot of rims in 20s. Input your filter for the bolt pattern. Where is that bolt pattern? Right there. So in my case, I'm matching the 5x114.3, so that's what I have right there. Whatever bolt pattern you have, select the bolt pattern that you have. I've selected 2 sizes, 19 and 20, and by 9-inch wide and 9.5-inch wide. All right, and then we're gonna filter by price, because we are broke and cheap and don't have money for the finest things in life. So now, this kind of rims looks like they're made for truck. Also, if you did try to fit these rims onto your car, the offset says +12. That's a lot. It probably would not fit. Let's just do a comparison how it would look like. Let's say compare it to the factory 19s here, which should be sticking out quite a bit. So these are 19-inch rims that came on the Mustang, and let's put in information for this rim right there. So we're gonna go with 20 diameter, 9-inch wide, and +12 offset. Right, so you can see how much the gap has changed there. The offset is the distance from your bolting face to the center of the wheel.
So when I go to 0, you can see the bolt-in face is right through the center of the wheel. So it means you have 4.5 inches this way and 4.5 inches that way. Watch what happens when I change it to 42. See, that face is spaced out more. So what happens is when you space it out more this way, so the wheel is more sunken, you have less clearance for the suspension and more clearance for the fender. Now let's see what happens with the 12 again. There you go. So you can see suspension clearance has increased, but the fender clearance has decreased right there. And by how much has it decreased? The tire will stick out 30 millimeters further. That's actually might be doable. Just might be, or might not. I don't know. I wouldn't risk it. So let's get something a little bit more mild. Alright, here we go. These are fine looking rims right there. The tire with 9.5 with 30 offset. That seems like it would be doable. Let's do 9.5 and plus 30. So another thing you want to keep in mind is your overall size diameter here, because we pick in non-factory rim diameter. I will have to downsize the tire profile to match the outside diameter of the tire that would fit on 19-inch rims. So let's see if I can downsize this a bit. Oh, look at that, it's actually matching perfectly. The tire width is over here. We have 255 millimeters that would fit over 19-inch rims from factory. And this rim is slightly wider. It's wider about half an inch. So I think this tire should still be fine. As you can see, the wall is going to be almost straight up. It's going to be really easy to scratch this rim because the tire is not really protecting it. But it's not something where you have to stretch the tire to actually fit it over the rim. And yeah, the tire is sticking out only 12 millimeters further. The rim sticking out about 20 millimeters further, but rim is less likely to contact your fender than the tire. So yeah, these rims would actually be looking quite fine. The rims that look dope are the rims that have more of deep dish or more of a lip. For example, rims like this, the flat surface, I think that just looks lame. Or like this. I don't know, whoever have this kind of rims, I'm sorry, but this is not my thing. Maybe some people dig it, but that flat face is right there. That's just like epitome of lameness. What you want to have is you want to have at least like a lip on your rim or a sunken deep dish. Alright, found some cool rims. So check this out. 19 by 9.5 plus 22. Actually, that's a little bit aggressive. Yeah, it's gonna stick out quite a bit, so I'm not sure if this is safe, but these rims would look dope if they fit. And these rims too. 20 by 9 plus 35. So like I said, rims that have wide rims with low offset, other rims that have like a dished look usually look dope. Yeah, you can check out the pictures here. However, don't be deceived by the picture you see here. This picture could be something wider than 9 inches. They would really like to put a picture of the design of the rim that looks the coolest, and of course that would be the widest rim with the lowest offset. So sometimes they would put a picture of something that's like 10-inch wide rim with like 20 offset, and that's where you have this rim that looks like it has a 3-inch lip. What you can do, you can actually go into these pictures there and you can check out what size they have. So this guy is actually rocking 10.5 plus 20 all around, looks like. So yeah, that's how you get that kind of dished look. And as you can see, his tires are stretched. He has 225 wide tires on 10-inch rim. Yeah, if you're into that, you know, I'm not gonna judge, could be your thing. But that's how they look like. So you can check the pictures. So if you're not going for 10.5 inch wide rims, it will not look like this. ESR and Audhan, those two brands usually have rims that have a decent lip and a deep dish design. Yeah, these rims look pretty cool too. Let's check. 10 by 9.5 plus 22. Yeah, so this is more realistic what you would actually get when you buy these rims. It's not as deep and not as big of a dish look as other rims, but this is probably realistically what would fit onto a Mustang without too many issues and without having to go with stretched tires. Now, what did I get for my car? I didn't get 19 or 20-inch rims. I went with 18-inch rims, and it was of this design, ESR CS15 18 by 8.5 plus 30. There, this is what I got. Why did I pick this size of rims? Because when you go with wide rims, you need wide tires. And tires are consumable when you drive in a rear-wheel drive car and you need to be replacing them quite often. I'm broke. I don't have that much money to be spending on wide tires every time. I wanted to get cheap tires. And cheap tires are usually common size tires. 18-inch rim tires are common. 235mm wide tires are also common. 55 sidewall is also common for an SUV, but it fits well on the Mustang too. Some people prefer lower sidewalls, and that's what you can get with a bigger diameter wheels, but I don't mind tall sidewall. I actually like it. If I hit the curb, it protects the rim from bending, and also sidewall sticking out protects my rim from scratching it when I'm parking. Pick what you like. If you're a baller and you have money to spend, yes, bigger rim with wider tires, deep dish look will definitely look better, but it will cost more money. And also, looks are subjective. Maybe not everyone like the dish design. Maybe somebody prefers rims which are flat and look different from this.
To recap, first what you want to do is lower your car on springs or coilovers, then do some spacers with whatever rims you have and with whatever space you have available for the horizontal clearance and your rims. And once you have that dialed in, if you kind of like how it looks like with the right amount of fender clearance or the poking out and the gaps being close as possible, then see what you can find on some online rim shop website and compare those to whatever rims you have on your car right now and see how those two match up. And yeah, go from there. Just play around with some numbers and hopefully you get something that fits in well. And now let's go to the garage and see if I can unrig my car. Well, I think I've got reverse rake.
Yep, this actually looks worse than before.
Well, that didn't turn out as planned. Well, at least the engine didn't. It wasn't able to unrake my car, but hopefully you were able to learn something about the tire size and how to shop for tires and how to make your car looking dope. Maybe in the next video I'll tackle my suspension setup and unrake my car, but for now, yeah, if you have any questions about making your car looking dope, stands out and stuff like that, leave me a message because that's what I'm here for, to educate the masses. The more cars looking stands out and dope, the better the world will be. Peace, later.